Yes. I'm just going to shut this door.
Hello.
I'm shutting the door now.
Sounds like Nancy. Hi, Nancy. Can anyone hear me? Oops. What was that all about?
I could hear you, Paul, but I was in the other room.
Hi, Julie. Hi, Nancy. How are you?
I am well, thank you. How are you?
Good.
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 Hey, Nancy.
Hi, Nancy.
Hi.
So if you had a chance to look at those minutes, I'll start making corrections with any suggestions you have. Julie, you're not on our committee yet, are you?
No,
Just
but I got the invitation.
couldn't think of a better thing to do on a Monday night, huh?
Hey, Paul, do you know if Austin will be joining us?
Austin said no.
Okay.
And Lynn said that Ellen will not be here either. Ellen Goldberg. So at most we are 6. I don't know what the quorum rule is, to tell you the truth. I would guess it's a majority, huh? We're 8. So I guess we need 5. But Lynn will know that, I think.
Right. Is that what you think, Julie? She go away?
Yeah, she's back.
Okay. Well, we have to do it for our meeting. So
What did you
There's
say?
Lynn.
what is a quorum?
Quorum, you have to have at least one more than 50%. At
Okay. Thank you.
least that's the way I work it.
Okay.
So that would be a majority.
Lynn, you're showing us your political campaign photo.
I know. Here's my real photo.
Even better.
So yeah. And how do I get the rest of you back on? I'm only seeing myself. I don't want to see that.
Go up to the top of the page
Yeah.
where it's, and if you hover your mouse up there, you'll get an option for more. And I think that'll be one of the options.
Or standard is what I put.
Yeah, okay. Well, I was ready to share my screen, so I don't know why.
And that's why you have the minutes on, right?
Yeah, can you see the
Yeah.
minutes?
I
Mhm.
sure can.
We can
Oh,
see the
okay.
minutes, but we can't move them down.
No, you can't, can you?
So only
No.
Paul has
I
control
can
of
do
it.
that. I can do that. On the other hand, you could put your minutes up, excuse me, on your own computer because I sent them to you.
Yes, you did,
So you could do that too.
as well as a few others.
Yeah, I sent you 3.
So there's a spelling error under mentioned.
Good. Where
Under
is mentioned?
near the bottom. Whoa. I tried to do something and
So the meeting hasn't been called to order. Is everyone clear about that?
Yep, we're clear about
Yes.
that.
Okay.
Say, Nancy, how do you
talking
spell,
about-
how did I misspell mention? Then I'll find it.
well, I think there's 2 N's in it. I'm sorry, I just sort of lost everything. I was trying to show you where it was.
I see it. Mentioned
Okay.
in the past
Yeah.
tense. Got it.
Well, there's not. Yeah.
Is there another one too? Nope. That's it.
Lynn, how was Calantha last night, this afternoon?
She was last evening, she was terrific. I was able to, she had not been able to hear her message on her iPad. So we listened to her message together. We talked about what an wonderful afternoon you had put together,
Oh, good.
along with Polly and others. And she was in very good form.
Good. I'm
So
Great.
yeah, it was nice. And she had had a
Yeah.
lovely afternoon with her family. So that was good.
good.
Yeah, I have to apologize. We were called away for urgent grandparent duty
That's okay.
yesterday.
I ate your cupcake.
Who ate my cupcake?
I did.
And she loved the cupcakes, by the way. She was very pleased with those.
Oh, good.
I think it was all
Actually,
good.
those that were remaining, we sent on to the COA and they loved them today.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm a little worried about attendance tonight.
Yep. I'm going to text Mickey and see if he's coming.
I know that Ellen Goldberg is not going to be here, and I just had an email from Austin.
Right, Austin, yeah.
How many people are on your committee?
One,
eight.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Eight.
So you need 5.
So we need,
Lynn, are we entitled to another member?
We are, and we have asked on numerous occasions for appointments.
Oh, okay.
But we can do it again.
So what flavors are we entitled to?
We now have at large, so we're only entitled to at large positions.
Okay.
And I just thought it would be, a kicking fun to cut the age level of our group to maybe half of what the average age is. So I was suggesting folks like Bobby Joe Blair or Jimmy Dolan was another person I thought would be a nice addition, but I'd love to hear other thoughts from other members of this group. So that's one.
well, I totally agree with you, but everyone is in the same position of trying to get younger people on their committees. And so we all kind of ask the same people. And young people are so busy these days between their jobs and their families, it's becomes
Yeah.
really hard. I mean, younger people that we have on other committees are frequently can't make it or drop off or stuff like that. So it's difficult.
I would say as it ever has been, honestly.
Yes, I suppose.
Yeah. So I think people either choose to make the time and serve in some way, or they don't.
Mhm.
So you're texting Mickey?
Yeah, I'm doing Ellen Steves.
Are you
I don't know if
texting
she-
or calling her?
Mariana?
Yeah, could you get in touch with Mariana?
Yeah, I'll try to do that now if I can find my phone.
Okay. Let's see what I have here for Ellen Steves.
Hello, Mariana?
Hello?
Hi. it's
Yes,
Spencer.
Ellen?
Yeah, Joe.
How are you?
Are you going to be able to come to the CPC meeting now?
Oh, which meeting is that? I'm sorry, I've lost track.
CPC.
Because we have a community preservation
How
meeting.
do I get onto it?
All right. Would you like to do it by telephone or would you like to do it on your
Oh.
computer?
I didn't know that.
I don't have a computer, so I better use the phone.
Sounds like it. Hold on a minute. I will get you the telephone number. It will take me a moment to figure out exactly how to do that, but
Sorry, I had it written on my calendar too.
I think I can do this. though.
Okay.
I
Yes,
don't know
no,
what
I understand, Mariana.
Hold on.
Completely.
What's
Well,
going on?
listen,
What's going on here? Where's the,
no, I didn't.
oh, I see, that's it. Okay, hold on.
Well, that's all right. So, all right.
Okay, let's see. You'll have to write this down.
Yep.
That's it. Well, all right, I will call you later
Let's see,
on.
looks
I just
like-
stepped out of the meeting to call you now, so I've got to get back into it. But then we'll catch up on the
Looks
real
like
things
the
we
number
want.
would be
Okay,
929
Okay,
205
bye-bye now.
6099.
Yep.
And the meeting ID is 818-327.
Yep.
3702.
I think you missed a second, Paul.
Now, wait a minute. And then you'll need a code. And the code is 852073.
Paul, have her
I
read
had more
the
trouble than you would believe trying to do this on a phone, but I will give it a shot.
Oh, you'll do it. You'll do it.
Okay.
Just, it tells you what to do. As long as you got the numbers, you can punch them in. Okay?
Sounds like a plan.
Thank you, Ellen.
You got it.
Okay,
So Ellen's going to call in. What did you find out, Lynn?
I found out that Mariana resigned on May 15th from
Oh, my
this
goodness.
committee. And apparently she had put in a resignation to the planning board. I never saw anything about it.
Yeah.
So.
I guess we
she-
pissed her off, huh?
No, I mean, Storian is very demanding of her time.
Oh,
His
I'm
health
sorry.
is very
Sure.
poor.
Sure.
So,
Yeah,
so we have a vacancy from the planning board to be filled.
right.
So that's good to put on our list of things. But I mostly am trying to find a quorum for tonight.
Yeah, we are, aren't we? So let's see, who else is there?
Mickey?
Haven't heard from Mickey. I will call him now. Ellen Steves, I gave her all of the information necessary to get on by telephone.
Mhm.
Paul,
We'll see how that goes. Yeah.
you may have missed a number with Ellen. I tried to interrupt you.
Oh,
So
all
if
right.
he doesn't join us, it's because he skipped over a 7.
All right. Wait a minute.
Sorry, I kept.
Oh, no, you probably were jumping up and down and I wasn't paying any attention. All right. So,
Okay, you do that with Ellen. I'm going to call Mickey.
all right. Good. Was it the meeting ID I messed
On the
up?
meeting ID number, you left off the second.
All right. I'll give it to her again. Hold on.
Okay.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message.
She's probably now struggling with getting on.
Right, she's trying to get on.
962 is not available.
That's terrible. That's torturing some poor person to death.
What's up?
So
Ellen, I
actually,
gave you
we
the
only
wrong,
have,
I didn't give you the right numbers.
Okay.
All right. Were you able to get the telephone number to respond?
No.
Really? That doesn't,
I put 929-205-6099.
yeah, what happened?
It wouldn't let me put the number in or finish it or something. Wouldn't take the thing you gave me.
Yeah, did it ring? Did it connect?
No,
Nothing happened.
I don't believe so. I always have a problem with my phone doing this.
All right, we'll try something different. How's that? I'll give you the Washington DC number. 301.
Yep.
715.
Yep.
8592.
8592.
Yeah, okay. Now, the meeting ID is probably wrong that I gave you, so I'll give it to you again.
Yep.
818-3277.
Yep.
3702.
Yeah, I only had 17 in.
Yep, that's right.
Julie.
Julie. Yep, and then the passcode is a 6-digit, 852073.
Okay, let me give it a shot.
Thank you, Ellen.
Oh, you bet.
Hey, Julie, you want to join this committee? We could swear you in tonight.
Then we'd have a quorum.
Yeah, because Mickey Long is not answering his cell phone.
Well, once you have Ellen, you'll have a quorum because you
Ellen?
have 7 people on your committee.
Yeah, it looks like you called me.
Oh,
That's not easy.
wait, who's the 5th person?
If we only have 7 members, we only need 4 people, right?
Brilliant.
Oh, that Nancy Catelmo, she's a hot
She's-
ticket.
She is a hot ticket. Oh, good. So I guess we don't have any visitors in our meeting right now,
Except Julie.
Julie's a
except for
visitor.
Julie, but she's family, so.
She's one of us, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So do you want me to read the governor's announcement, or do you remember it so well that you don't need to hear it again?
Please go ahead.
And
You
read
can read
it?
it really quick. How long does it last?
Well, it's only, the only thing that is allowing us to meet by Zoom, Paul.
Oh, I see. All right.
Yeah.
Well, if you,
Yep,
if you
okay.
insist.
Well, all right. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, general law, chapter 30A, section 18, and the governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place, the meeting of the Nahant Community Preservation Committee is being conducted via remote participation. No in-person attendance of the members will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings as provided for in the order. A reminder that persons who would like to listen or view this meeting while in progress may do so by following the instructions that were listed in the posting of the meeting. All right, that's it.
Nikki
So-
Paul Spurn, I'm probably the second person to leave a message for you asking if you would please join us at the CPC meeting, because without a quorum, we can't meet. All the information is in an email that I sent you this afternoon. If you don't have that, just call me right back and I'll read off the numbers to you. Bye.
Yeah,
All right,
thank
did you leave a voicemail for him, Lynn?
Yep, I did.
Yeah, me too, but it switched over after just 2 rings. And that suggests perhaps that he's on the phone.
Maybe. So maybe we'll get lucky and he'll join us. But now that the meeting has been called to order, let's actually start with the agenda. And the
Well,
first
don't we
thing,
aren't there only 3 of us?
well, isn't Ellen in this meeting
No,
yet?
I don't think
No,
so.
she hasn't.
She hasn't
gotten
made it.
in.
Ellen.
We
I don't
could go to her house.
You know, I have to tell you, folks, this is why I want to go back to in-person meetings. I know that's probably not too popular, but I'd
Well,
love
it's
to.
not the worst thing in the world.
I'd love to hear some opinions on that because we are able to do that.
Where would we
Nancy?
meet, Lynn?
Well, we can meet, there's Emily. That's Emily Potts. We can meet at Town Hall, or we could consider meeting here at Valley Road in the newly spruced up and renovated Sears Family Room, which has been completely repainted with new flooring. It's very large. We can open 2 windows on 2 sides of the building, and it has a central HVAC system,
Wow.
which Town Hall doesn't have any of these things.
Yeah, I think that sounds great.
So the one thing, and now Emily Potts is listening in, the one thing we would need to be able to operate here in the evening are shades, because we have strict injunctions to not have lights showing through our windows. But Emily and I have talked about this. I think she's going to reach out to the shade company and get that going.
Oh, that would be fine.
But it would make it, I know it's hard for Ellen Steves to attend, and quite honestly, I think our meetings, I think, benefit by being in person when it's possible.
Okay,
On a
Sure.
safety basis.
sure.
We can also consider hybrids. Julie, do you know what the town policy is on hybrid meetings by any chance?
I know that, I don't know what the policy is, but I know that even in the past, before this, we could attend a meeting by phone, because I've done that with FinCom.
Mhm.
I couldn't attend in person, so I attended on speakerphone.
Mhm.
So I would think it would be the same thing. You could have some people in person and some people zooming in or by phone.
Nancy, I think you were shaking your head, so I
Yeah,
think
so
you would-
as you know, I saw the space, and I think it would work fine, and I would feel comfortable there, and I would wear my mask while I was in that space, but I would like to offer the possibility of a hybrid meeting if it's possible to do, so that those people who don't feel comfortable
Yeah,
could be able to be part of the
Right.
group.
Well, I think it's going to be a matter of finding out what town hall has to say about that. I have conducted client meetings on a hybrid basis. It's exciting. That's all
So
I
you-
can say about it.
Lynn, do you need a laptop with a decent sized screen? Is that what you need or what?
You need to be able to address people in the meeting and make sure that your meeting listeners are getting the same information. So
Uh-huh.
maybe it's a little, when you're doing architectural things, it's really, it's exciting. But maybe it'll be a little bit easier.
Hello,
with-
Ellen.
This is what the Nahant teachers have been doing.
Really? Okay. Well, Ellen's on my line. And Ellen, let's see if you can hear what's going on. Let's do it this way. I'll put you on speakerphone. And okay, would somebody please recite the Gettysburg Address, and we'll see if Ellen can hear it.
For 7 years ago, our forefathers founded in, how's
Yeah,
that?
as long as there's not too many people talking, I can hear it.
Okay, good.
Great.
And can you all hear Ellen?
I
Yes.
just heard her beautifully.
What do you know? Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it. Oh, good. So we have a quorum. How exciting is that? We're official. Ellen, we just discussed the concept of considering a hybrid meeting so we could have both in-person attendance and by Zoom. And we'll look into what the town hall's policy is on this subject. So that's one thing. But let's go on to the agenda itself, which starts with reading minutes. And we've had some informal commentary on one set of minutes. I don't know if the members have had a chance to read the minutes that Paul sent out earlier today. I did and didn't see the typo.
Okay. All right, well, let's
Thank
take them one at a time and see if
Please
we
do.
have any comments. Talking first about January 25. Any comments, changes?
I read them and didn't have any comments.
Okay. Would someone like to, Lynn, I don't want to usurp your job here, but
Oh, that's all right. You
just to
can do
move
that
it
too.
along, anybody
Do
like
that,
to
John.
move for acceptance?
I
I
would
will.
like to move, or
Who
Nancy,
is that?
Nancy would move.
Okay. All right.
Do we have a second?
Do we have a second?
Second,
Thank you, Ellen. All in
All
favor?
right. All in favor?
Aye, Nancy.
Any opposed? Okay, well, it's unanimous. All right, and the next is from.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah,
You know, I believe you probably do, but you know the format that they want these minutes in to submit them to town hall to be put on public view. You have to put this wording at the end saying respectfully submitted, blah, 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 blah. And you have to say when these minutes were approved.
yeah,
Okay,
it's right here. Respectfully is going to get added. I didn't know respectfully was part of it. But can
Who
you
says
see
it
it where
has to
you
be
are?
respectful?
well, that's just what
It doesn't come naturally to me, but I will, Nancy, if that's required.
well, that's what I was told by the clerk.
Yeah, in fact, she's written a nice protocol, so I'll check it out. Don't
Okay,
worry,
great.
they'll be kosher by the time they get submitted. All right, the next is March 1st. Comments or amendments?
I have none, Nancy.
Nor do I. Lynn?
Will anyone move to approve?
I move to approve.
And that was Nancy, I
Yes.
guess. Okay, do we have a second?
Second,
Oh,
Ellen.
anyone opposed? Okay, unanimous. All right, and then the last is March 29.
So there is another silly.
Good, where
word
is it?
thing. So it's at almost the third line down. Whoops, don't move.
Oh, tell me, I'm
Right.
sorry,
So
go
right
ahead.
now it's in about the center and it says number 8.
Yes,
A daily repair of the remaining walls.
thank you. Got it. Ooh. All
Anything
right,
else?
comments or amendments?
I have none other.
Can we have a
Any
motion?
Anyone move to accept?
I move to accept.
Second?
Second,
Any opposed? Okay, unanimous. Thank you all very much.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Paul.
Okay, Lynn, back at you.
Okay, so the second item on our agenda was a review of current projects or current and sort of pending CPA projects. Can I put something on the screen?
Yeah, see what, do you have the option of
You have
share?
to give her permission to share.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I don't know exactly how to do that. Let's see. First, I'll stop my own share.
Okay,
And then I have no idea what to do next.
come on, Nancy, you can coach him.
Well, I think Julie knows.
Here's more. Wait a minute. Live on YouTube. No. Sharing screen. Let's see what the sharing screen option is. Multiple participants can share simultaneously.
Yes.
Maybe that's it. All right, Lynn, move your mouse around and see if you get the option to share.
Paul, you can
Moving-
also make her a co-host.
Okay, how do I do that?
If you go up to more,
Yes.
then it should say make someone a co-host next to their name on the list.
Let's see. So it isn't under more.
Go, let's see.
Mute, stop, chat, pin, spotlight, make host. Here you go.
Or
I
co-host.
want to change the host to Lynn Spencer. You bet.
Yeah, now you've all gone away on me, so, and
They'll
in
come
fact, the
back.
thing I had put on the screen to share has also gone away. Ah. Unfortunately, I operate
Make
on,
it small. In the upper right, make your gizmo smaller and see.
So right now it's on speaker.
Yeah, no, I,
At least on mine.
Is it something you can send me, Lynn?
I can't even get you all back on the screen right now.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to the right upper corner where it says
Yeah, no,
view,
you're just a single person right now, so unfortunately.
no, if you make your
down.
cursor go to the top right corner and there's a little grid with a view.
No.
Do you have that?
No, I don't.
Hmm.
I only have you on the screen, Nancy, and it's nice to look at you.
Because if you're on speaker view, you'll only see yourself. But if, like Nancy said, if you go all the way up to the right-hand corner top, and it should view, the word view with 9 little dots should appear.
No.
No.
I'm going to go out of this and come back in.
Okay. We'll miss you.
You gotta love modern technology.
Oh, now it's back this way. You know what? I'm just going to tell you what I was going to share with you.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's up?
Yeah.
I have it
go
right in
ahead.
front of me.
But you know what you can do? You can email it to me when this is done. Maybe I could use that in the minutes or something.
Yeah, okay. So
Okay.
this was going to be from the document that I know is your guide in your Bible, which is the insert that goes into the town warrant. And at the back of that document is a table that looks like this. And it's called Appendix C, Recommendations and Estimates. And it's really a summary of the recommendations and the amounts that were put before the town meeting, and in fact, were approved. And I was simply going to report to you on some of the items that are actually either completed or under construction. I have asked Tony for an update, but I haven't gotten a formal thing. But I can tell you, because I do actually watch the projects, and I can tell you a little bit about what's happening. So, for instance, Article 21B, first of all, under our administrative expenses, there's been very little taken from the $10,000 that was appropriated. Article 21B was the Little League, and that work has been completed for $32,375. And the league in turn matched it by another approximately $15,000. The American Legion sign, which was Article 21C, is done.
That was the fastest one that went up, I think.
Yeah, it was. Well, it had been designed, except I said, don't put those gold ball finials on it, but they ignored me.
But it was important that it was up for the wall that heals.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Frank Radera, who has since moved out of town, was really instrumental in making sure that happened. So here's to Frank. Article 21D was $120,000, which added to the prior article for the tennis and basketball courts. So that made a $280,000 budget. And I believe that there's going to be a ribbon cutting this coming Wednesday at 10 o'clock for those who are in town to attend, where they are, well, cutting the ribbon and opening up I don't think the project's completely done, but it's largely substantially complete. Just a reminder that this will be the first year of it'll be year 2 of the $400,000 library bond. So
Does that have a line? Does that have a line, Lynn? 21 something or other?
I'm sorry, it's 21E.
Got it. This is the year 2 of the library, of the 400,000 library?
Yep.
Bond? Is that what you said?
Year 2.
Year 2.
And it will take $53,600 out of our, budget capability. The next that is 21F, which is another library bond. It's a library town hall and Greenlawn Cemetery combined bond for $500,000. And to my knowledge, that bond has not been taken. The library has a $50,000 matching grant from the Mass Historical Commission, and I know that the plans and specs for that project have been submitted. So we'll be watching that.
So the
Allison,
$50,000 matching grant from, what is that called? What is it?
Massachusetts Preservation Projects Fund.
Preservation. Okay, so that is, excuse me, not only approved but available?
It's been approved, but it's not available until the agreements have been signed between
I
the
see.
public library
Okay.
and MHC.
Okay.
21G is the Ellingwood Chapel, which is some more exterior work and some interior work, and nothing has been done on that. Others may know about the next one, which is 21H, the Dory Club Gangway. Does anyone know if that was actually done yet?
I believe so.
21H, did you say?
It's 21H, yep.
Didn't we hear that that it was taking so long for them to get the money that they just paid for the whole thing? I thought that's what
Maybe.
Austin told us. Does that make
Oh.
sense, Nancy?
I didn't understand what you said.
Okay, so there's a cryptic note in minutes that I took. I don't know whether it was one of the ones we approved or not, but that Austin said that the Dory Club project may have gone through without waiting for our funding last year.
Okay, I mean, I believe that it's accomplished,
Yeah,
looking at it, but I don't know where the money came from.
right.
They had a substantial match going into this, but I would be
Yeah.
surprised if they wouldn't actually ask for reimbursement of the $17,000.
Well, they
which
would be
is possible.
entitled to it,
They'd be
I guess,
entitled
wouldn't
to
they?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we didn't get that before the town meeting. Otherwise, we'd have taken it out of the town warrant. So I don't know.
Okay.
So that's a question. The next two, 21I and 21J are both housing authority projects. I believe, just observing the one building on Flash Road, that they have been proceeding with some of this work, but I haven't seen any requests for reimbursement or funding. Allison sends me bills to look at, to approve. I don't have the primary approval, but I am reviewing these on behalf of this committee, and I haven't seen anything come in, but I think work is somewhere in progress.
So work's underway, but we don't know if they've asked for any money from the town?
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
Okay.
And Nancy, you may know about the next one, which is 21K, the Bailey's Hill project.
Oh, yeah, I know it. We're stuck a little bit because we need to work with the DPW, and after multiple attempts from Ellen and myself, we can't engage Zach. The last we left it, he was supposed to get in touch with Kristen Kent and have it put before the Concom, but we have never heard that meeting between the two of them happened because we wanted to be present. So we're in a holding pattern and we're now requesting a meeting with Tony, which we've been waiting for, to also bring up this item as well as other stuff from open space. So we're stuck right now.
Mhm.
He wanted to get it going before the winter came and thought it would be very easily done, but it seems like other things have taken his attention.
And nothing that you can see has happened there.
Oh, I mean, no, we have to go before Concom before something can happen.
Oh,
Because it's within 200 feet of the shoreline?
I don't exactly know why, but she said that she would say whether she needed to or not. I'm sorry, I don't know the details enough.
Okay.
Julie, did you have?
Julie?
I just had a suggestion. I have found that things move a little quicker if I make a request to town hall as opposed to directly to Zach, because he's got a procedure he needs to follow. So maybe if you reach out to Mary Lowe and say you need to, get a meeting with Zach. He's very in tune to procedural things. I had a town tree that needed some pruning and I reached out to Zach a couple of times, but then he told me I needed to reach out to town hall, so that's what I did.
Okay, thank you. I mean, I know that's how to reach Tony through his, administrative assistant, and that's where we're stuck with that one, but we will try that, Julie, thanks.
Welcome.
and since, Lynn, since you've got your warrant book open, I missed the line designation for the Housing Authority grants. What was that?
The first one for window replacement is 21I, and the next one for the Greystone Road project is 21J.
Great, okay, and was Bailey's Hill 21K?
And Bailey's Hill is 21K. Yep.
Thank you.
Moving right along. Thank you, Nancy. Good
Mhm.
luck.
Yeah,
Good winter work, I would say.
right. And the problem is, just for an aside, we can't submit a new grant for the rest of the work we'd like to do. And there's all these people saying, why can't you work on the other side of Bailey's Hill and this and that? And we can't. If we can't get the original grant done, we can't start writing a new
What
one.
makes you say that?
Well, because we need Zach's help.
So you could push him to help with the second part of this in the same way the tennis court project was ganged up. Just a thought.
If we could talk to him, we would.
Yep. Yep, I appreciate what you're saying. I do. Well, good luck. Let me see. The next one is 21L, which is the Lowland softball fields, and I believe that work is done. I have to say, Zach's been very busy on these recreational projects.
Yes, we feel there's a direction being
I
given
believe
to
you
recreation.
are correct. That seems a pretty logical thing to surmise here. Next is 21M, and that is the town hall ADA improvements. I did have a conversation with Tony last week where I reminded him about this project, and I have this observation, and it really came from sitting in on the Conservation Commission hearing in early June at Town Hall, which was incomprehensible. The consultants were making the presentation on the East Point project on behalf of Northeastern. I think they had either been coached to mumble and to do, quite honestly, a sloppy presentation, or they just did it naturally. But the point was you could hardly hear it. And it seemed to me, and I said to Tony, look, ADA work is not just about disabilities, it's about, hearing impairments. So
Right.
you have a good architect working on the library project, and also he's working on the town hall omnibus bond, which is Richard Smith, bring him in to talk about not only the physical changes, but the changes that may be possible to make town presentation and make meetings actually more effective. Because I think the same thing is true about the Board of Selectmen's meetings. Acoustically, that space is terrible. The sound system is terrible. And yeah, so there's all that.
Well, Lynn, don't you think that a good sound system would be an easier way to solve the problem?
It won't completely solve it. The space
Right.
is like a bandbox, Paul. It's all
Yeah.
hard surfaces.
Right.
So, I mean, quite honestly, in the days when meetings were held on the stage, when the curtain was part of it, they were more effective. So one option is if the stage becomes made handicapped accessible, which a stage lift could do, then you could go back to having meetings on the stage and you have a greater ability to control the acoustics.
Don't we have a stage lift?
Not that I've seen.
There was a stage lift that was purchased for the school, but then they said it was not necessary at the school because you can access the stage from the ramp behind the stage. And I thought that was given to the town hall.
Well, that's interesting, Julie. I've never heard that before, but I'll certainly follow up on it.
Yeah.
Because those little stage lifts are like $25,000, $30,000.
Yeah, I mean, the last time I saw that stage lift, it was stored under the stairs at the far end of the Johnson School.
Great. Good suggestion. Thank you.
Welcome.
Going on, the Little Nahant Playground, which is 21N, that contract has not been let, but I think Tony has that on his list. 21O is the Spring Hill Road basketball court. That is done. And the rest of these were the clawback options.
Did the hoops go up at Spring Road? I saw benches and I saw the court. I didn't see the hoops the last time I drove by, but maybe they went up in the last week.
I think he told me they were going up last week.
I
So,
saw them working on the bases of them. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that's kind of a little progress report on where things are. I did have an email this afternoon from Emily Potts concerning the Council on Aging kitchen project, which I had inquired about. They have decided, well, Emily, do you want to are you listening?
I am listening. Yeah.
Would
I'm
you
here.
like to actually tell us what the Council on Aging, what their thoughts are on this project?
Yeah, the Council on Aging had money for the redoing the kitchen in the bottom of the town hall. There's been talk about moving the school that has been given up, hopefully only for a while, about moving the Council on Aging over to the school so where they could have a larger area. That is not going to happen in the near future. But in looking at the population of the town, the group felt that the space in town hall might not remain adequate for a long time in the long term, and that it might not be worth it to put that much money into a kitchen that then would not be needed. So we looked at the kitchen, and we have a grant to purchase new ovens and some stuff, and we're going to do that. And the group is just, they're just looking at maintaining that place and not doing any major construction. But we're left with a floor that is hard to maintain. And so what we were hoping was, at first we were saying we would return the money from you all to you, but then people started thinking about the floor and wondering if we could keep enough to do the floor in that kitchen and then give the rest of that to you.
Have any idea what figures are involved there, Emily?
I don't. um, I don't. We hadn't even gone out to bid for it. This just sort of was something that people have been thinking about for a long time, but didn't bring up because all of our meetings were Zoomed and we didn't like think creatively that way. So
Okay, that's great.
I don't know that.
So you'll just keep us informed about that, Emily, and maybe come up with a budget. I think I might suggest you consider a rubber floor,
Yes,
non-skid rubber floor.
that's a great idea.
Um, So
Is that the going thing? I mean, is that what?
that's what are used a lot in commercial kitchens. Hardworking.
Okay,
So some amount of that $50,000 will be coming back is the
Right.
point.
that's
So
right.
that could lead us to the next item on our agenda, which was the revenue projections for the coming fiscal year. I asked Allison and Sheila to give me, an idea of what the 3% surcharge would be. And I was given a number that was higher than we have seen in the past, which is $258,968. And if we were to model this with a 60% match from the state, in the recent past, we've been up to around 70%, but if we were to look at 60%, we would have $414,590. If we were to look at a 50% match, it drops down and we'd be at 388,452.
Lynn, could you run those numbers by me again? The 3% surcharge yields what?
258,968.
That can't be right.
$258,968.
But you're telling me that 60% of that is over $400,000.
No, I said if you used a 60% match, I didn't
Yeah.
give you that match. The match at 60% is 155,622.
At 60% is 155.
622.
Okay, and then the match at 50 is what?
129,484.
Oh, where'd 388 come from?
This is why I want to be in a meeting. If you add $258,968 plus the 50% match of 129,484, it results in $388,452.
Okay, so the 3% surcharge is the base, 258, and you either add 155 or 129.
Exactly.
Good, thank you.
You should, and I'll bring it up later, but we're going to talk about writing the minutes because there's a good reason for somebody else to write the minutes. So
Yep.
Paul could really participate.
We'll talk about that one.
We'll talk about that under the new business. Anyway, so this is to say that, we're going to have some money to work with. Now, out of this, we will have the two bonds related to the public library bond of $400,000, and then I think the $500,000 bond will probably be taken in that first year. So those monies would come out of this. And that would drop this down to approximately $290,000 if you're using the 414 number, which I would like to use. And then we also have reserves, and that's why you look at your Appendix C table when you have a chance. But we have a reserve in housing of just over $35,000. And then we have a general reserve of 302,000. $100,000. 302,000.
Yep.
Um,
And is there an open space reserve?
no. No, we have gone through that. So we've got some money to work with. I think a valid question will be, what about that $1.5 million bond for the East Point project? And I'll just remind you that while the selectmen have voted to proceed with the eminent domain taking, the $3 million that was put up to the town for this project, that will be the first draw on any expenses related to either legal fees or other soft costs or land acquisition before the $1.5 million bond gets taken. So that could be some time. And that's a 30-year bond. And again, your Appendix C, it's a very handy little thing, will show you the impacts of that bond over time. So I guess the thing I would like to talk with you about is initiating the process for the fiscal year 23 grant applications. And there's two parts to this. A, establishing that we've got money to spend. And B, as setting up either affirming the existing grant application or editing it in some way, and then setting up a process for two things. One is a public hearing that allows people to come forward with their ideas, and for there to be a discussion between the potential applicants and the committee. And in the past, we've done that with one, but sometimes two public meetings. And then the other is to establish a deadline for the grant applications themselves. To my knowledge, and Julie, I'm so glad that you're here with us today. To my knowledge, we are still looking at a town meeting in May.
Correct. Third Saturday.
And we know that the FinCom enjoys the process of engagement
Yes,
with
we
our
do.
committee, and we enjoy that as well. So we want to allow some time for that. In the past, we have actually had our grant applications due at the end of January, with the public hearings in November and December. So I'd love to hear thoughts from the committee as to whether this is working and whether they have alternative suggestions.
Would you think these hearings would be in person? Last year they were on Zoom, I think, since that was the only year I was on the committee.
That's right. In the past, they've been in person. And again, I suppose if we get the direction from Town Hall, we could make that the hybrid situation.
Is there any reason not to do the same schedule we have been doing?
I don't think so. In fact, town meeting is kind of a little further out than usual. Last year we had a lot of hard work because there hadn't been a town meeting for 2021. So that's why we had so many things to consider. This year is kind of more like the standard process. I know, Nancy, you had the bath by fire, the introduction by fire last year, but usually it's a little less stressful.
And if I could just say that it's better for the FinCom if you keep the schedule the way you've had it, just because town meeting is pushed out. That just allows more time to to get everything together rather than having that last minute rush to get the warrant and the book typed up.
Yeah. So I think maybe what we should do is sort of stick with the end of January as the deadline, but let's pick um, let's pick a date for a public hearing. Well, first of all, do we think we need more than one date for a public hearing?
It wasn't mobbed last year,
No,
but it was an unusual year, so I don't really know.
yeah. I mean, Paul, you recently wrote the minutes on that meeting, and so,
Yeah.
we had the interesting request about the Bear Pond study,
Yes, we did.
which we kind of pushed back and said, the planning board really needs to go through a process for this, which would include working with the Conservation Commission. So I don't know what may be happening with that. Ellen, are you still on the call?
Yeah, I can mostly hear you.
So Ellen, do you know anything about the Bear Pond study that which was brought forward last year by the planning board? Have they approached the Conservation Commission in any way?
Not that I'm aware of. I've made all the Conservation Commission meetings. I don't recall anything saying that we were looking at it.
Okay.
I can tell you that
I can check with Kristen.
Mhm.
I can tell you that at our last open space meeting, it was brought up.
Oh, it was. Oh, okay.
It was brought up saying, what are we going to do about it? And wasn't this a wonderful idea to have a study? So I think it, in some people's minds, it's an active situation, but I don't know where it's gone beyond that.
By we, did you mean we, the Open Space Committee, or
Yes.
we, the CPC?
At the last open space committee meeting, it was brought up in our open space plan. How are we planning on dealing with this? What would be our recommendations? So we didn't have an answer, obviously.
So I think the applicant is under an obligation to actually do the legwork with open space and Concom, and any other committee that you can think of that would have bearing on this. But it certainly, it will, when we notify, the way we actually notify people about these meetings is that we send a notice to all the town boards. And that would sort of kick this into gear.
Mhm.
And they certainly, would have time to do the legwork, and they were told a year ago to do the legwork as well. So that's one potential application.
Yes.
I'm sure that there will be more from open space, whether it's at Bailey's Hill or some other thing, but we certainly want to invite those applications. So I'd love to hear ideas on a date for that first public hearing, and if we get enough kind of feedback that we need to have a second public hearing, we can go ahead and do that. And this is, by the way, it's not a public hearing, it's a public meeting.
Mhm.
Public meeting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think a public meeting in the second or third week of November should be sufficient, don't you think?
I would love to have that be sufficient.
Yeah.
How does you what? I remember setting up this meeting, and there were so many people who couldn't do so many dates. Am I stuck with Mondays for this group? Possibly.
I don't see why not? Why not try it?
So we could either look at Monday the 8th or Monday the 15th.
Okay.
Any preference here?
No preference.
Okay. Well, then let's go for Monday the 15th.
Okay.
Of November?
Yes.
Okay.
Public meeting.
Yeah.
With this, I can ask Kristen Taylor at Town Hall, who is our kind of liaison, to put out the notices and get this to a newspaper ad at the Lynn item. And then I just put my calendar on the floor, so.
Lynn's gone under the desk or something.
Yep.
Him under the desk. There's my pathetic little calendar. When's the new Historical Society calendar coming out? Come on,
In
Very,
the office.
yep, very soon.
very soon. Oh, good. So, I'm scared about looking up a calendar on my computer because you guys might go away again. I'd be sad about that. But let me do it on my phone.
So they would add it to the town calendar so that it would be on, that's what you mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Kristen Taylor would do that.
And she will also send out the notices to the committee members. I have a simple notice that we've used for years now, and we'll use it again. So do we want to have the applications due either Friday, January 28th or Monday, January 31st? We either torture people by having them due on a Monday and they have to work over the weekend, or we get it done.
No, do it Friday.
So my other big question is, do we make any changes in our current grant application? We either have people be very conscientious about filling them out properly, or we have people throw things at them and hope for the best. We have a
You
lot
know,
of
the
that.
ideal would be if the application were in two parts, one informational and the second with the data, because we get back these huge documents that are mostly a repetition of the data that we put in them, the information we put in them. So I don't know if that's possible, but it would be more convenient.
I would like to ask the members that are with us today to take a hard look at that application and then look at the applications we received last year
Yeah.
and come to the next meeting with some firm sort of recommendations.
So will that next meeting be the public meeting?
No, it has to be in advance of it because we issue the applications with that invitation.
So
Oh,
that means we have to meet like November 8th,
no, sooner,
November.
right?
Well, today's October 18th. Yeah, we either meet next week or the first week of November. We could meet November 1st and still have time.
All right. Why don't we have a Google Drive page for the committee? Didn't Ellen set that up last year? A Google Docs? I think she did. All right.
That
All
would
right,
be a
does it-
good way that we make sure everyone has the information.
Right,
It would.
exactly. And I thought it would be a good way to just file recommendations for changes, and then perhaps Ellen could incorporate them into a revision of the document, which I think she did to some extent last year, didn't she?
Not much.
The
I
year
think we only
before.
changed the dates.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's really changed in any measurable way in about 20 odd years. So I think it could be time. And by the way, does everyone know that Ellen lost her mother?
No.
No.
Yeah. So she's in Philadelphia now with that.
I
So
see.
just bear that in mind.
I see. Okay.
And what about Ellen Steves getting this information?
She's on the line.
Right, but the written Google Doc, can she said she didn't have a computer.
Right. Helen,
Lynn
are you
drops
gonna-
things in her
I'll have it
mailbox.
Are you going to be without a computer?
I'm always without a computer.
Lynn
Oh,
drops things
I have it
off at
all.
Ellen's house is how it
Okay.
happens.
I see.
But is there, I'm just like throwing it out, is there not a way that you could like use the library computers or something? Ellen?
God knows I'm not good at computers in the first place. I can go find out. Let me know what I should be looking at, what programs and stuff.
With all due respect, I think that just looking at a hard copy and some of your past, because Alan, you've been on this committee for a long time, so you've seen the past applications. And I think you could just take a look and give comments on the hard copy, which I'll leave off at your house in your mailbox. Okay. Next is on the agenda is new business.
So I have a proposal for the committee to discuss, and that is, as Lynn alluded to earlier, something I've been thinking about for a while. And that is, it would be very nice if we had someone helping us out with the minutes. And this idea occurred to me because my wife Ann is one of the library trustees, and sometime last year they asked one of the assistant librarians to put in some extra time and prepare the minutes. And Ann says she does a spectacular job. I don't know what she charges, but it can't be very expensive. And it would free me or whoever has this responsibility up to participate more fully in the meetings. It would also, I think, ensure a higher quality and more promptly produced set of minutes. So I'm going to propose that we, and I'm very happy to be delegated to do this, to look into what this gal would charge. And if we could, what shall I say, anticipate a figure and approve it, then I would be able to sign her on with a telephone or email conversation. Otherwise, we'd have to wait for another meeting.
So I think that's an interesting idea. I think I'm all on. I think it's a wonderful idea to have somebody else take the minutes, Paul. I just will point out that Kristen Taylor is the person that we've been kind of linked up with at Town Hall. So I think we first need to go to Tony/Kristen Taylor and see if she'd be available for this before we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. So, and would that be as part of her regular work, or would that be?
No, she gets paid extra for the support that she gives us.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, fine. All right. So, who should be the person to talk to Tony then?
I think you should.
I'm happy to do it.
Good luck.
Well, he calls when he wants to. Do you have a cell phone? Do you
Sorry?
call him on a cell phone, Nancy?
No.
I do. You want it? So I'm holding this because, for instance, last year, this is the book that Kristen Taylor put together for us.
Uh-huh.
All of the applications,
Right.
and they got around to people. So it's quite helpful. And I think, Tony said to me before, you can use her, she could use the money. I don't know. I don't know
Okay,
if that's
fine.
still,
Fine.
yeah. And
Lynn,
if
do you
she-
think it, just thinking a little more broadly, rather than just this topic of having her do the minutes. So she put together a hard copy book of applications, which I probably have here somewhere, I guess, if you said that she distributed them, or you distributed them, didn't you? Didn't you drive
Probably
around with
picked
them?
them up and took them around. I've done that
Yeah.
before.
Okay. But maybe she would be a good person to take exactly the same documents and put them on the Google Drive, which those of, so that we could maybe consult things simultaneously at meetings, or save some paper and notebooks, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, it depends on how people are comfortable with. I manage so many documents that I'd rather have a hard copy, quite honestly.
Oh, you would? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Fine.
yeah.
All right.
So does this
I'm
money,
running two firms, so it's not, there's too many documents.
Yeah.
so
Okay.
does this money come out of our administrative budget?
That's right.
Oh, good. Oh, okay. Fine.
And we as a committee would need to approve it before
Right.
it was set in motion. So even if it happened before the next meeting, we could do that in an email, probably. Right?
Probably. We get a unanimous vote on it, yes. But first, I think first check to see if Kristen is available for this.
Sure.
And then secondly, if she's not, then go to the person at the library, whose name is, what's her name? Carolyn?
Carolyn, good for you.
And see if she would do it. Because it does mean somebody giving a Monday evening
Yes, it does.
for this fun. But yeah, I think it'd be a swell idea. And in the past, the applications last year and the year before, they went to Kristen Taylor. So, they get funneled through her at town hall.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're filed at whatever email address or whatever you do. Are they emailed in or are they submitted?
They're emailed in.
They're emailed in. Okay.
Most people do. I mean, Ellen had, made a real effort and created an online document.
Yeah.
So they can be filled out online and
Oh, they
submitted
can.
online.
Oh, okay. They can be. All right.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be a matter, we could then poll committee members and find out what their preference is. If they're comfortable with keeping things electronically, they're welcome to do it. If they need to have a paper copy, and for instance, Ellen Steves would be a candidate for that, then we can get, we can make the distribution. So with that, I think the other item of new business is that we are short now a planning board representative. So I need to reach out to Dan Berman of that committee to see who they would like to put forward. And we have at least I believe we have two at-large positions that could be filled. So I'd love to hear suggestions of people. I appreciate what you were saying, Nancy, about people being busy, but people who would be interested in serving on this committee would be good. So if you have any bright ideas, let me know.
And so let's say we come up with a list of 3. Who do we submit that to? Who do you submit that to?
If you would then give it to me, I would submit it to Tony, who would then be passing along to the Board of Selectmen and the town moderator, because the town moderator is the one who actually makes it's a little bit fuzzy about this. I mean, the town moderator does FinCom and so on. In the past, when I've had people appointed, it's been done by the Board of Selectmen.
So would it be more effective to go directly to the Board of Selectmen, or is it necessary to go to Tony?
I think you go through Tony. I think that's his liaison role.
Okay.
So if someone is coming on as a representative of another group, they have to get appointed through that channel also?
Yes, I mean, my procedure in your case is I went to the chairman of the Open Space Committee and said, you've got a vacancy. Can you please, talk to your group and decide who
Right.
you want to put forward? And I would do that with the planning board. But for at-large members, it's plucking fruit off the tree.
But I'm asking a little bit different question. All of those appointees, whether they come representing a committee or at large, need to be funneled through the town administration for approval?
As the appointments are made, yes.
Okay,
Okay, so we're looking for one planning board and 2 at large, is that right? Got it.
I know this meeting has gone on, but I want to bring up another topic that has been brought forward to me by citizens, and it's something that actually I had participated in a significant way. And that has to, and I'm sorry that Mickey Long is not here, but it has to do with affordable housing. There is a fairly well-founded belief or understanding that there may be a 40B project being pursued at the site of the Bayside. I don't know if any of you have heard about this. I hear that Julie's not on the line. And I think it's, has prompted people to be concerned about what this could mean on that site, and also to feel that a remarkable opportunity was passed over with the military housing project. I have to say that I personally felt in a very awkward position at last year's town meeting, because to speak against what was being proposed while we were faced with the agenda items for community preservation didn't seem to me in
Yeah.
the best interest of things. But I thought Toby Quirk, for instance, spoke very clearly on behalf of as an occupant of one of those housing units. And I know other people, at least in 2 other town meetings, there had been strong support for actually creating housing opportunities for young families, as well as for older adults who are in the kind of, selling their house and wanting to still live in the haunt mode. So anyway, I simply bring this forward to say that I think there will be more discussion about affordable housing in a meaningful way in this community. And of course, community housing is part of one of our mandates.
mhm. Can I ask a question? Isn't that report that was submitted at the town meeting a recommendation that the selectmen have to decide upon?
It was.
Okay, so that leaves the room for other recommendations.
So right, Nancy. So right.
Okay.
So yes, there could be other thoughts. So anyway, I think I would like to gently explore with others what it might mean to sort of gather together if you will, a workshop or some kind of event where we bring together housing and open space and community preservation and citizens to talk about this, because it's an important topic. So food, that's I'm just sort of planting a seed on that one, because I don't think this is going to go away, and there's really something good that could come out of it.
Right, I totally agree with you. I mean, that we would consider that sometime like early next year in terms of timing.
Something like that, yeah.
And it would probably be good to announce it far enough ahead of time so people could get their thoughts together.
Exactly.
I mean, people came up to me after the meeting and said, I have this really great idea, but I didn't have it thought out well enough in the face of that Gigunda report. And so
Right.
they felt inhibited about saying their other ideas. And so I think giving people a chance to prepare something would be great.
I think I really appreciate what you're saying. And I think, you know, in fairness to that committee, they were driving along on the need to repay the $2 million bond that was taken to buy that property. The fact that the town has had rental income for, you know, nearly 20 years, and instead of using that rental income to pay principal and interest, they've only been paying the interest. So they've been using that money basically as free cash.
Mhm.
But, you know, the committee felt like, oh, we have to take care of this, and they had a model to do that. I think there are just other ways to think about it. So. All right, well, with that, I think we three committee members, plus Ellen in the background, have come to the end of this is the end of the meeting in terms of the business that I wanted to bring forward. I don't know if there are other items that you would like to bring forward.
Well, I just want to remind everybody that we are now committed to a meeting of the committee on November 1st.
Right.
A public meeting on November 15. Deadline for applications on January 28th. And we didn't talk explicitly about a target date for being ready to speak to the FinCom, but I think we're shooting for April 1st or the first week in April.
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Okay. So at 8:21, I move to adjourn.
I would second that.
I think
Emotion.
we'll just all sort of vote together. Wave your hands if you're in sort. Ellen, if you're still there, do we have a vote to adjourn or a vote to adjourn? She's not there. So,
Ellen, Steve, are you still with us?
Oh, yeah, let's adjourn.
Okay, everybody,
okay.
everybody, all with that? Good enough.
Yeah, we're all over that.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. And hopefully, Paul, next meeting, you won't be taking the minutes. That would be
Hopefully
a great
not,
move.
hopefully not. Okay.
Okay.
You
But
think
thank
we'll ever
you.
get out of Zoom meetings and go to real meetings?
Well, that's what we're going to probably do that, Ellen, or at least have a hybrid format.
We're going to try, Ellen. We'll see if the town will allow. Nancy, our other committee meetings are taking place in person, right?
Yep, as far as I know.
Yeah, some are and yeah, and some aren't. And offering the hybrid situation makes it fairer for people who feel they can't come.
Right.
So I think it's the best of all worlds that way.
Good.
Right. So we just have to think about the projection kind of aspects, but we'll figure it out. So. Okay, well, listen,
Okay,
folks,
everybody.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Good night. Good to
Thank
see
you.
everybody.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night,
Okay.
Ellen.
Bye-bye
Take
now.
care.